We have a tale of some real heroic police work in Colorado recently. Apparently, there was a suspicious looking individual, a real shady looking character, who just happened to be black, that was standing in front of a home picking up trash. Now, you can understand why the police were on high alert when they were confronted with this individual. As it turns out, the devious looking man was actually in front of his own home just cleaning up some trash. But he was doing so with some very dangerous types of equipment. He was holding a bucket and a clamp, like a metal trash grabber. So, like I said, you can understand the high alert here. A police officer approached and asked for ID, which the suspect did offer up. Believing that this had to be a part of a larger conspiracy, the officer called for backup, and the crew came to support their fellow officer in his time of need. So we do have some video that we would like to show you from this very, very dangerous event. And the video is shot by an individual that was living in the home as well and probably knew the suspect.
That's a clamp. I used one of those when I worked for New York State to pick up trash on the bridge. Go home. This is ridiculous. What am I watching?
He's got his gun in his hand.
Oh my God.
He's got a gun. 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 Just relax. What do you mean? This is my property. This is my house. I live here.
Focus on me. Just focus on me. Focus
No,
on
what do you
me.
mean? Focus on you. There's fucking six of
Just
you.
relax.
Just drop
Put
it.
that
Really,
object
this is my
down.
property.
We just
We're not
want to
going
talk.
anywhere.
Dude, there's 6 cops. Zayd has a clamp in his hand thinking
This
it's
is my
garbage.
boy's video right here. I fucking live here. I'm a resident of this fucking property. I'm picking up garbage from my fucking dorm. I go to school here. I go to school here. Don't fucking tell me what to do. You guys don't have a goddamn fucking right to be doing this.
No right at all!
I'm a citizen of this country. I fucking pay my taxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 officers of the law with guns drawn. Put your fucking gun away, jackass. What, are you gonna shoot me? There's fucking cameras everywhere, dude. Are you gonna shoot me? Dude, you said this is a weapon. It can be used. Do you feel like this is threatening?
You stupid fuck.
I'm gonna settle down here on my property.
If you put that down, I'll pull my gun away.
Why?
I told you why.
Why?
It can be used
It
as a
can
weapon.
be used as a weapon. You're a jackass.
No, that's not you.
Put your fucking gun away.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you have a seat over here?
Nope.
Now we can talk.
Nope. I'm not sitting. You can sit.
Hey, Zane.
What?
Okay, these nice people here told me that you are a resident.
Oh, wow.
So
What a fucking surprise.
we're trying to find out, okay?
What a fucking surprise. I gave him my ID, and then he started taking down my fucking information, telling me this, that, and the other thing. And then I walk away, and he pulls his fucking taser out on me. Right?
I can get your name, your date of birth,
You have all my
find
stuff.
out. I don't have your date.
Why do you need my information? Why are you coming onto my property asking me for my information? This is where I fucking live. I don't need to give you shit. I didn't use shit. You're a jackass.
Straight fucking jackass, you stupid fuck!
Just take a deep breath and we'll take care of it in a different, hey, in a different situation.
There's people out here committing crimes. There's people out here doing
Right.
real fucking crimes.
Right, it's
And
likely,
you're gonna
hey,
waste
hey,
all your resources
hey,
coming over
it's
here.
likely, hey, you're angry and escalated, and it's likely you got profiled, okay? So we'll pick it up at a different time, not right here, right now.
Before we showed that video, you mentioned that conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think you elaborated on that conspiracy, but I think what Will was talking about is suspicious neighborhood beautification efforts as a front to criminal behavior.
That must have been what it was.
I think that's what you're talking about, because as you know, there's been a convoy of criminals that go into random neighborhoods and do unwanted yard work. I'm pretty
As a front for something else.
As a front for something else.
He approached him and for some reason and asked for ID. The guy gave him his ID, and you can hear him in the video. He was saying after that, it was like that wasn't enough. He didn't want me to go back into my place. He pulled his taser And then all these other guys showed up. So there has been a statement provided by Boulder police, okay? I want you to really hear this statement. A Boulder police officer observed a man sitting in a partially enclosed patio area directly behind a private property sign and initiated contact with the man to determine if he was allowed to be on the property. Now, I guess the thing to pay attention to here is the private property sign. So this officer saw a private property sign and then saw a man that was in this enclosed patio area and wanted to just know if he was, supposed to be there or not. You know what else would have been indicative of any place being private property? A random house.
A random house.
Doesn't matter if it has a sign or not. You're telling me that the officer needed to see the sign to understand that it was private property?
I think that was pretext. That's pretext because obviously he doesn't see the other houses as private property because most houses don't have that sign.
Yeah, but so you don't know.
He must assume that that's public property. It's
must
available
be
for everyone to walk into.
That must have been the case. But you know what I think probably did happen? All these other properties that were, of course, private property, there probably wasn't a black guy in front of them.
True that. Like when I see situations like this, there's a quote that comes to mind. And this quote comes from D.L. Hughley. And I think he said this on The View. And he said, the most dangerous place for black people to live is in white people's imagination. Now, I don't think that just applies to black people in all cases. I think when we're dealing with the cops, I think that can apply to anybody.
Right.
The most dangerous place is inside a cop's imagination because the imagination is boundless and endless. And they can assume anything and approach a situation based on a predisposition they have. Now, I'm aware, I'm aware of the necessity that cops have to approach unknown situations with caution. I understand that, but they still have an obligation to make observations when they come to a situation and determine how they're going to engage based on what they've observed. So it's like once the cop noticed that Atkinson was in possession of a trash grabber and a bucket, that should instantly change how he engages with him. When he made a call for additional assistance for other cops to come, he told the other cops over the radio that Atkinson would not comply and he had a blunt object. Unwilling to put down a blunt object. That's exactly what he said. Now, at that point in time, it was obvious that he had a trash grabber. So why would he say that?
A bucket.
In a bucket. So which was the blunt object? The plastic bucket or the trash grabber? That tells me that he wanted to make this situation into something that it wasn't.
You can see in the video that he was not dangerous whatsoever. And he actually even displayed the metal trash grabber. You think this is dangerous? He activated the claws. Like, you think that's dangerous, really? Then he tossed it away. And then you saw one of the cops. I don't know if you noticed that, but right at the bottom of the screen, there was one cop that came in and actually grabbed the trash grabber away from him. So, he couldn't use that to attack the cops, which I guess he was going to do at any point there. There were 8 cops, I believe, that he started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cops that were there just for his one person that wasn't endangering anybody. This all started, again, keep in mind, this all started because a police officer noticed a man, a black man, that was in an area on a property behind a private property sign. He was in an enclosed area on private property. I don't think these police officers, or particularly this one police officer, I don't think he was employed by this neighborhood or this particular private property, this residence. So why is he policing private property? That's not the police officer's job. If you notice some danger, then yeah, you can do something. But if you see somebody sitting in an area that is designated private personal space, a private property, then what are you doing there accosting them, harassing them, asking them for identification? I need to see your name. I need to know your birth date and all this. And he's like, no, you don't. I'm on my own property. You have no right to come and accost me and cause me all this aggravation because I'm just sitting here minding my own damn business.
People, bring up the fact that, the idea that he should have just dropped the thing, dropped the bucket, and dropped the grabber. So I understand. I don't necessarily see that as a suggestion or a malicious suggestion. But you have to remember, he actually showed them his ID.
Yeah.
So at some point, he had to put down something.
And actually get next to the cop.
He had to get next to the cop. So I think, like, and also we have to kind of look at what the motive is, or look at the motive behind why someone is asked to put something down. They're asked to put something down because it's seen as dangerous. You really think that a bucket and a trash grabber is dangerous as a cop, especially when you're assessing the situation as you come up? So, I mean, I can understand the notion that people put forth, you know, that why didn't he just put it down? But he actually had to put it down because you got to put something down to grab his ID. So he kind of did put it down initially once he showed the cop his ID. The problem came when the cop thinks that the ID is not enough.
Boulder Police Chief Greg Testa, he said that officer has been placed on administrative leave, of course, pending an investigation. But you see at the end of that video too, that obviously there was a calmer-minded cop that tried to talk to him. And he was saying that, hey, you're escalating the situation. Now's not the time or the place to be doing this. You were likely profiled. Yeah, I think he was profiled.
Interesting that he would say that.
Yeah,
you just say you
on tape.
On tape, he would say that.
Yeah, I think he was profiled. I think he was. Because, again, this is private property. This is just regular human activity, but there's a black person doing it. So it doesn't matter. You know, we've said this many times before. It doesn't matter what you're doing, where you are. If you carry around a certain type of pigmentation, then you can be deemed a threat. This guy was just picking up trash with regular equipment that would be used to pick up trash. And he was deemed a threat on private property.